I'm Dorothy Godin, broker with Remax Crown Realty, and welcome to Thursday Thoughts. Today, I wanted to talk about the multifamily market, so the apartment buildings, what's happening with that, with the apartment buildings in Sudbury. So, during the pandemic, if you look at the first 6 months of 2022, the market was crazy across the board, but multifamily was just really insane. In those 6 months, we had 156 multifamily sell, and 70.5% of those sold at or above list price. On average, the sale price was 577,000, and on average, it was 26 days on the market. Which is, with multifamily, you often have conditions even in a fast market. You want to see the rent rolls, you want to see the expenses. There's a lot of information to be gathered. So 26 days was actually pretty fast. And on average, those houses sold 10.8% above list price. And we were listing them very high because, the market was there. Realtors were coming from out of town. A lot of buyers came from out of town. I've never seen so much activity with out-of-town buyers and literally out-of-town realtors coming into Sudbury with their buyers. So that was the first 6 months. And then now if I look at, January to now, which is 8.5 months of 2022, we've had 105 sales in the multifamily market. 33.6% sold at or above list price. The average days on the market was 39 days, and the average sale price was 480,000, and that is 97% of list price. So you can see a dramatic change in that market. A lot less sales. Average sale price is down quite a bit. Average days on the market is up, and we're now on average, like I say, selling 97% of list price. Where during the pandemic we were selling 10.8%. So that market has really, really changed. And if you've been on the market lately, trying to sell a multifamily and wondering, what the heck happened. Interest rates make it much harder to finance multifamily. Right now we have on active listings, we have 86 active multifamily units, and on average, they've been on the market for 69 days. So that tells me that there's a lot of people on the market who are not listening to the market and need to do a price adjustment, but they're just not doing it. Like I say, right now, our average days on the market for multifamily is 39 days. So if you're sitting on the market and you're past that 39 days, clearly the market is telling you that you're just not in the right price range. So as I've mentioned before in one of my videos, my family, we grew up with multifamilies. My dad had 3 small buildings, 2 triplexes, and then 1 unit of five units. And what I love about the way my dad approached it and the way I think people should approach it now is it is a business and you have to treat it like a business. The minute that you don't treat it like a business, I think you're going to be in big trouble because there's so many things that you have to deal with multifamilies. And one of them is the tenants. If you have a problem with a tenant and you go to the tribunal and you get a judgment, my dad would right away go to small claims court and make sure that he takes that judgment and, garnishes wages or whatever he had to do to make sure that he got his money for his rent. You always have to be dealing with tenants. You have to know the laws. You have to know what their rights are. You have to know what your rights are as a landlord too. Treat it like a business. Before you get into buying, make sure you see the cash flow in writing. Make sure you see the expenses. I would also ask, is there anything to disclose? Have you had any major issues with this building? Have you had any insurance claims in this building? And these may not be in the listing, but it doesn't hurt to ask, right? And then look at location. A lot of people will go with a location that gives them, looks like great cash flow, but they also have great turnover and they don't have great quality of tenants. So you want to get a fix on what kind of tenants do you have there? What's the turnover? There's just a lot of questions you need to ask before you get into multifamily. It's not a get rich fix, overnight. It's something that you should think of as a business, treat it like a business, have a long-term mindset, and you will do great. I haven't seen that many people go wrong with buying multifamilies. That's not to say that, there's not going to be issues. There's always maintenance issues. There's always, that one crappy tenant that you have to deal with. And that's just part of being in that business, right? So multifamily, if you're thinking of buying, I think it's a great idea, especially young people, start young, start small, and then build up. And it's a great way to build your wealth over time. So I hope you find this helpful. As always, you can reach me at Dorothy Godin at remax.net or 705-561-2360. Have a great week.